Good morning, stamping friends. Happy Wednesday. This is unusual. Usually I come on Tuesdays, but oh my goodness, yesterday it was crazy day, and it's really funny because during COVID, it seems like we have more downtime, but I don't know what happened, but everything piled on yesterday. So I am really sorry because I try to keep my schedule the same, but I just knew it's either going to be a thrown together project that I did not even think about. Maybe I should do that sometime just for fun, or put some thought into it and get the PDF ready and stuff. So I opted for the more organized one, and I'm just a day late. So again, I apologize, but I'm super excited to show you a new stamp set. Actually, it's a bundle. And so I'm gonna switch my camera around and then we'll get started right away. Sorry about this little flipperoo here. Oh, this is the worst part of the video, but it's okay. You guys are patient with me. All right, let me zoom just a little bit. And then I always like to have my host code on here. If you see anything you like, be sure and order from my Stampin' Up! Website. Better yet, I'm gonna talk about it, that kit, the starter kit that you can get at a bonus deal. It's only $99, remember, and you can choose $125 worth of products, and this is what they throw in for free, any one of these. And the most expensive one is $60.25, so that's a bonus. So it really is a great deal, and you're running out of time. We only have a little over a week left of this, so if you're thinking about it, sooner than later is better, so then you can possibly get the products that you want. All right, this time I'm gonna create as we go. I'm not gonna show you the project till the end, but I want to show you all the colors that we're using. Isn't that a nice assortment? Granny Apple Green, Bumblebee, which is a new in color, Poppy Parade, and Magenta Madness, which is another in color. And I want to show you the paper pack we're using. It's Flowers for Every Season. Oh, I think this is the first the first paper pack that was on my order. So these show the coordinating colors, and look at all the nice two-sided. If you're not too into flowers, there's always a back side that you can use if you want to use it, for masculine. And then there's even more colors. Here's the other ones. So it's just really fun to work with all these different prints and colors. All right, we are going to use Magenta Madness. I think this is a lot of people's favorite of all the in colors. At first I wasn't sure about it. It reminded me of the Office Max flyers, for like in the neighborhood or whatever, I don't know, just advertising, but it turns out this is really one of my favorites. Once I put it with the paper that is new in the catalog, I really, really like it. So kind of a standard size here, 4 1/4 by 11, and then it's scored in half on the long side at 5 1/2. So just fold that in half and crease on the score line. And then our next basic layer is going to be 5 1/4 by 4, and we are just going to adhere that to the front. Let's see if you can guess what this is going to turn into. I should have showed you the stamp set we're going to use too. Let me grab that. It's called Field of Flowers, and this actually comes as a bundle. This can be free if you want to do the starter kit. So a bundle is when you take a stamp set and either a punch or a die set and put them together and save 10%. So whenever you see the word bundle, that's what you're getting. So this comes as a bundle. You can buy them separately, but it's a better deal if you get them together. So this is the focal point of the card. And then I did throw in, I've used this one quite a bit, but I just love the sentiment. So I just chose one of the sentiments from Beautiful Friendship. You might already have this, but if you don't, this is a really nice floral set because you don't have to do a lot. There's shading in there and stuff. You don't have to color. But anyway, I chose a sentiment from there. All right, so we have our first layer. Now, the next layer is, we're going to go with stripes. I am totally a stripe person, and this is going to be 3 3/4 by 2 inches. So just put some adhesive on the back of that. And then we're just going to layer that at the very bottom of the card like this. Whoops, and try to get it straight like that. All right, the next part, we're going to do some cutting, but I want to show you my templates. You're going to need 2 squares. This one is going to be 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. This one is the Magenta Madness. And then this one is 3.5 by 3.5, and this one will just be Whisper White. Now what I want you to do is find the halfway point on this one. That comes to 1 7/8, and you don't have to worry about measurements because all this is on the PDF. I actually have a picture of these two. And then I'll put a little dot there, and it doesn't matter if you make a dot with pencil. You don't even have to erase it, because once you're done with these markings, you're just going to flip it over and use the other side, so you won't even see them. So just make a little pencil mark at 1 7/8. Then I want you to measure up from the bottom up 3/4 of an inch and make 2 dots there. All right, now for the second one, the Whisper White one, we're going to do the same thing, except the measurements are a little bit different. A half of 3.5 inches is 1 3/4, so make a dot there, and then go up the same distance, 3/4 inch, and then make 2 dots there. Now what you're going to do is take your paper trimmer, and you're going to want to cut from this dot to that dot. So we're going to make a point like that. So you're going to cut like that, and then cut this one like that. And it's best to use a paper trimmer for that because you want it nice and straight. If you don't, it's not going to line up that great. So when you're done, it'll look like this. Here, you can see my pencil marks on the back side. Doesn't matter, I'm going to use this side. So these are going to layer nicely together. I tried to use the nestled dies that have that stitching, but it wasn't quite wide enough, so I just kind of did my own thing. Now, the next thing we're going to do is put a pad down so I don't get my mat wet or inked up. Now we're going to take the Garden Green ink, and we're going to take the flower stamp. Actually, it's not flowers, but kind of the grass, the meadow, whatever you want to call it. And oh, I just love Granny Apple Green. It's a nice bright spring and summer color, a little bit lighter and brighter than the Old Olive. Okay, now we'll see if I can get this straight at the angle I'm watching. And I went up, I don't know, maybe like, doesn't really matter. Just go up a little bit and ink it. There. Now, that's all we have to do for this piece right here. Now we are going to take the flower stamp, which is this one, and what's really nice about this is it lines up perfectly with that punch I just showed you. So I already did some of them just so you didn't have to sit and watch me stamp and punch. So, but I do want to show you how it works. Let me grab scrap paper here. Whoops. So what you do is just ink up the flowers, press them down, and then I'll show you how the punch works. You can use this as a border, but so far I've only used it kind of for the confetti, the confetti, you know what, I gotta trim just a little bit down. This corner is not letting me put the punch in all the way. So that's better. Now just line up, all those flowers will line up nicely with the punch. So once you have it, just punch and you'll have confetti flying everywhere. Now what we want to do, this is a fun little trick. Let me get the sizes that I want. Take your Stampin' Pierce mat. It's kind of like a mouse pad, like back in the old days. And then take a stylus. That's what you use when you score. And use the smaller end of the stylus and just poke right in the center of all these flowers. And this is going to make them stand up so they're 3D-ish. All right. Now we're going to put them on the flower, or on the card front. So you're going to need liquid adhesive for this. And the reason why is because all we want is a tiny little dot. So let's put a yellow one here. And just kind of randomly, and I'll call out the colors that I'm using. I just kind of went every other one. Then I did a Magenta Madness. Then let's put a Poppy Parade up here. And let's do another yellow, Bumblebee yellow here. What's your favorite color for the in colors? You'll have to let me know in the comments. Then let's do magenta again. Whoops. And then we'll stick one more in here. Let's do one more Poppy Parade. This is the teeny tiny one. All right, that's good. Now the next thing we're gonna do, oh, you know what? I wanna put a Dragonfly on there. Let's use the same ink for that. And let's just put him flying up here like that. Now, if you want to add, I don't know if you guys have discovered Wink of Stella. Wink of Stella is kind of like a shimmery paint. It has a very fine tip and it will only go where you paint. So it's just a nice way to add a little sparkle. Sometimes you have to move it in the light to see it because it is so faint, but it just adds a little something. Dragonfly wings are kind of sparkly. All right, now we just want to layer that on here. I probably should have waited to put these on because they're not quite dry yet. So I'm actually going to put the adhesive on this side. I don't want to go too far to the edge, otherwise you'll see my tape. And this will layer up nicely because I had it all pre-measured before. All right, just like that. Now we're going to add, let's see, a little band, and this is the magenta ribbon. And this has been back ordered, but it's scheduled to be in the warehouse pretty soon. So we just want to add this right on the bottom of the flowers so you can't see the, oh gosh, how am I going to do this when my glue's not dry? Okay, note to self, do not put your flowers on till the very end. So I am going to cheat, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Let's see if they pop off. I have 2-way tape that I sometimes use because it's a little bit bigger and stronger. Snail will work, but I don't want to wreck the flowers when I'm doing this. Okay, so we're just going to adhere it like that. All right, now I'm going to let that dry. Eventually we're going to put dimensionals on that. Okay, let's move on to the next step. Let's do the sentiment. So I took the stitch circles, and this is the middle size, and we are going to use Granny Apple Green again. And like I said, I took the sentiment from Beautiful Friendship, and it seems like I need birthday cards, so I'm going to do birthdays are the best and see if I can line this up based on this angle. All right, that looks pretty good. Now we will just adhere this, and we'll make it one more layer just to bring the Magenta Madness color in again. And just center it like that. Now we'll put some dimensionals on the back. When I do circles, I seem to like to use 3 of them so they don't move left to right or up and down. And let's see. Now we are going to have to put this on whether we like it or not. Let's hope my flowers don't get squashed. And all we need for this is probably like, let's do 5. 1 in every corner, and we'll put one on the tip as well. This will be the true test to see how fast our liquid glue dries. Looks like my flowers are still on there. They're still popped, so that's good. That was a little experiment, free of charge. All right, now we're just gonna place this and center it like that. Getting closer to being done. Do you like it so far? We're using all the colors that are down here. Now we're gonna put that sentiment on. This card, I saw a sketch on Pinterest, so that's where I got the layout of this card. And then just kind of place it like that. And these enamel dots, these also are scheduled to be due in to Stampin' Up, I think June 29th. So it's almost off a back order status. And I just wanted to add a little dot to the eye here. And I think the last piece we need is we need a little bow on here. So I just took a glue dot, and I like to use my piercer for this as well. And we'll just put it right about there. It will stick to ribbon. There we go. Birthdays are the best. So isn't that a fun, cheery summer card? And then you can just write your note or whatever you want on the inside. But I just thought that was fun and pretty easy to do. This would be easy to mass produce. And really, you can use any color on the bottom. Florals would be pretty too with the magenta in there. So the sky's the limit with this and that paper. So anyway, thank you so much for joining. Again, if you see anything you like, any new stamp sets, or better yet, the bundle with the starter kit, if you do an order, please use the host code. That helps me a lot, and I will upload the PDF and the video on my blog in case you need to refer back to it. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you again on Friday. Bye-bye.